Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Yahoo Sports. I am so fired up, not only for UFC 276, one of the best cards of the year, and it's been a phenomenal year, but this is one of the best cards of the year, but also to have my next guest, Max Holloway, joining us, the former featherweight champion, perhaps the future featherweight champion. Max, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Kev. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. UFC 276 Saturday at T-Mobile Arena, the third fight between you and Alex Volkanovski. I guess let's start here. Not too often, the UFC has Volkanovski ranked second pound for pound and you sixth. Yahoo Sports has each guy one spot lower, Volkanovski third and you seventh. Not too often that you see fighters of that caliber fighting each other once, let alone three times. So are you excited for this because of that?
Oh yeah, my next question to you, Kev, since you already pointed out, is like when did two top guys of the pound for pound list fight each other in the last decade? Do you remember?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't pick one out, but maybe
Yeah,
DC and Bones a couple of years ago.
yeah, yeah. DC and Bone. That's the only two I can think of too. So it's a legacy fight. It's a huge fight, man, and I can't wait. I got five title wins to make this guy the sixth title win here in the ninth island, Las Vegas. It's in front of fans, in front of friends and family. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're extremely popular in Las Vegas. You always have a big support group. I want to go back though. Let's talk. How disappointed were you after the second fight? I mean, most people thought that, hey, for sure he won the first fight. I know you disagree with that, but most fans and most media had Volkanovski winning the first, but they had you winning the second. Was that tough to come back from after what happened?
I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's there's three people sitting rings octagon side, and their decision mattered. And they went the other way both times, and it's what it is. But if it was so clear cut, I believe that we wouldn't be here for a third time. So we're here now and wait for it.
You were coming off very impressive wins over Calvin Cater and Yair Rodriguez. But the one thing, I noticed, and I want to talk to you about this, you haven't had finishes a lot recently. In your early
Uh,
career, after you fought Conor McGregor in 2013, you fought 13 more times and you had 10 finishes. Then you came to the Dustin Poirier fight, and that was an amazing fight that you lost a split decision. After that, five fights with no finishes. What is the difference in you now and then where you're not getting those finishes?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just go in there and tell myself I'm just gonna keep hitting this guy, and if he wants a way out, he can take a way out. But if he doesn't, I'm just gonna keep hitting you to the end of time. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I feel good. I feel great. I've been having good stuff. The Cater fight, a lot of guys wanted to finish, but thank the Lord it didn't. Because if they finished it in the third or the fourth, then it would have been I would have not had that moment in the fit. So it's pretty amazing.
Do you feel like the Rodriguez fight might have been one of your best performances, though? Because you fought so many great fighters and you've had so many elite performances. But I thought in that Rodriguez fight that I mean, there was so much back and forth, and you showed so many different elements of your game. When you
Uh,
look back on your career, do you feel like that was maybe at the top or near the top of the list in terms of how you performed?
oh, for sure. That a lot of people sleep on your ear, bro. He's really good, and we went out there. We had that performance, and I feel great. He's a tricky guy, bro. He's a hard fight. It's hard. He's a hard guy to figure out. Out there. So I was glad we went out there. We did our thing, and we got to get our hands raised.
You're kind of in an interesting spot because you're fighting Volkanovski for the third time. And if you win, you could potentially fight him a fourth time, or you could go to the winner of Yair and Brian Ortega. And you fought both of those guys before. Do you like rematches, or do you prefer like fresh blood and seeing new guys as opponents?
I mean, I the way me and my team attack fights is we all know every fight, and we attack it like this is our first fight and our last fight. You never know in this sport, so I don't really care. I just want to fight the best. Whoever you guys believe is the best at that time, feed them to me because that That's how you become a legend. That's how you become great, and that's the only way you can push yourself to be a better you. Is the opposite of me being the best guy out there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to start a controversy when I ask you this, and I know you know I have so much respect for you, and but Habib made a comment the other day that I wanted to get your, he was asked who he thought was going to win the fight, and he mentioned that he thought, hey, it's a difficult fight. You're both great fighters, but then the one thing he said when it made him pick Volkanovski, he said, I think Volkanovski has more fire than Max. I don't know how you interpret what fire means, but does that disappoint you to hear that? And I don't know if you had seen it before, but what was your reaction?
Not at all, unless I mean he's probably talking about Volkanovski having more fire because like he has a cooking show or something. Maybe the fire resemblance there, but other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Khabib is Khabib. He's gonna say what he's gonna say, and I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm here. I'm still doing it, so I can't wait. There's a lot of people saying stuff, and we'll get to figure out if everything is true. If I still have the fire come Saturday night.
Max, do you think there's going to be anything significantly different about the way Alex attacks you than he did in the second fight? Obviously, that first fight, he really went hard on the calf kicks. This time, Ron, do you think he makes a major adjustment, or is your sense that, it worked for him, so he's going to continue doing what he did?
I will see what happens. I mean, to the hardcore fans, to the hardcore journalists like yourself, yeah, this is two different guys stepping in that fight from the first. Two different guys stepping in the fight from the second. This is the third fight. This is different. New game plans, new everything. New everything is coming. So I expect a different Volk, and he should be expecting a different me in there. So we'll see what happens.
I'm trying to think, when's the last time you had a big crowd? I mean, I know a couple of fights at Apex you had some fans there, but it's been a while, hasn't it?
2019 to here
The,
in
the
T-Mobile Arena.
Volkanovski fight, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, this is a cherry on top, man. I got 5 title wins. To Volk to be my 6th title win here in Las Vegas, the ninth island, in front of my friends, family, in front of a huge crowd. I heard that they're opening up standing space in that thing because it's selling out. So it's gonna be amazing.
That's awesome. Hey, let me ask you this. Israel Adesanya is on the card. He's in the main event of UFC 276 fighting Jared Cannonier. And I know you take pride in your boxing. You have the best boxing. He's got a different style of boxing, but do you watch him and try to take things from him? Do you feel like he's that good of a striker that there are things that he does that maybe you try to assimilate into your game?
Yeah, he's super good. It's everybody. And it's not only him. It's guys. Whenever I do watch guys and I see stuff, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. How can you take something and add it to your game? And that's the only way you become better in this sport. I try to take little bits and pieces from everywhere, from everyone, so you can become this complete fighter.
From your standpoint, what is the Volkanovski's strength? Like, is there anything that you look at, you say he's better at this, or is he like so many guys are now, just a really good, well-rounded martial artist?
Yeah, he's just a really good, mixed martial artist. So well-rounded. So at the end of the day, I'm excited for the challenge, man. I can't wait to go out there. Tune in Saturday. You guys do not want to miss this. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great, and I feel good. I can't put into words, but when you got a feeling about something, you got a feeling, and I'm ready to show it.
Couple questions popped up. Just ask you some of the fan questions, and if anybody has a question, pop them in, and we will get to you. We have a few more minutes here. You have fought at 155 a couple of times, or you fought Dustin Poirier. I mentioned before you were supposed to fight Habib, and that fight did not happen. Somebody asked a question, and they wanted to know if you plan to move up in weight because they think your weight cut must be tough. Do you have a difficult weight cut? And do you feel like size, those 55ers are too big for you, or do you feel like you could compete with them eventually?
The weight cut is going great. The weight cut is going super good, man. Haven't had no weight cut problem ever in my career, to be honest. And at the end of the day, I do. I have some. With the guy who I think is the champion and should still be the champion. I have history with him. Charles Oliveira, And there's a lot of good question fights up there that fans want to see with 55 or so. We see what happens. First things first is my guy. I got Alex in front of me. I can't be looking too forward into the future. I got to make sure everything is right coming here, and then maybe after Saturday you can ask me that question. Maybe get a different answer.
Well, I'll ask you another one that Homeless in America asked. And I know you're friends with DC, who is in his 40s, right? This guy is asking, will you fight into your 40s? So basically, will you fight until you're as old as DC is right now?
No, probably no, never. Probably not. I don't want to. I wouldn't want to. If you guys love me that much, make sure you guys come through the stream. I stream on Facebook Gaming. I play Apex Legends if you guys into it. So make sure you guys come through.
You can get them. How long do you want to do this? I mean, obviously, you're still one of the best in the world at it. It's clear when you fight that you're loving what you do in there. So, when you've been around a long time, you started at a young age, so people look at you as a veteran, even though you're still a young guy. How long do you want to do this for? Do you have any thoughts on that?
We see what happens. We see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. I've been saying I don't want to fight a day after 35. So we see when 35 comes. Though I'm a competitive guy. Maybe I can fill in that competitiveness with the competitive sports and esports when it comes that time. So we see what happens.
There you go. One or two more questions, and we'll let you get out of here. One of the things I want to ask you is like, how does being married now? You got married a year ago, I think it was. How does that change your approach? Like, because now you've had a son for a long time, but you're responsible for supporting an entire family now. Does that put any different perspective on what you do?
Oh, for sure. Being married is 100%. I gotta make sure I support my wife and my son. So it's huge. It's not really stressing. It's just like I have something more to fight for again. And I always have Russ to fight for, but now I have a beautiful wife, and life's good. It's amazing, man. I couldn't. I'm just super happy.
One or two more, and then we'll wrap this up. The trend now has been for guys to try to get two weight division titles. Do you think that is like a good goal for guys to try to do? Because sometimes you win a title in one division, and then like look at Amanda Nunes, right? She doesn't fight as much in the other division. Do you think that's a good thing, that a good trend to see guys, trying to compete in more than one division at one time?
I mean, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. I would say if you can do it, then go and do it. I still have hopes of becoming a double champ, and then maybe a little bit later on towards the end of my career, maybe we even fight for a third title in a higher weight class. So that'd be amazing,
Wow.
man. If you can do it, why not?
Do you think your size, like, in other words, you have a good reach, right? So at least at this weight, your length and your reach create problems for fighters. 55, maybe not as much, and 70, certainly most of the guys are going to be bigger for you. So how do you compensate that? Like when you look and you say, hey, if I try to do something like that, physically, you're giving up a lot of size.
Yeah. I mean, we see, when
BJ Penn tried that a lot.
Yeah. When we cross that bridge, you find out. That's what you gotta do. You get there, and then you figure it out. And I got some of the best heads in the sport. So to my strength, to my business manager, to my strength and conditioning, to my striking, to my jiu-jitsu, to my wrestling coach. There's some of the best minds in the sport. So when there's a will, there's a way, right?
Well, that is one of the best fighters in the sport. That is Max Holloway on Saturday, UFC 276. Co-main event, he is challenging Alex Volkanovski for the championship. Max, always appreciate you. Always enjoy watching you fight. Thank you so much.
You have a great one, brother. Well,
see you, man. Thank you.